call the City Commission of the Pahokee City Commission on Tuesday, September 24th, 2024 to order at 6:02 p.m. May we please stand for the invocation provided by Commissioner Derek Bowden, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for your grace and mercy. We thank you for your righteousness, which is in Christ. We ask that you bless us this evening to come together to do the business of the city of Pahokee, that you continue to shine your light upon us and bless us to continue to move forward and to grow. We thank you for your love and grace. We thank you for all that you provided for us. We thank you for the team that we have today. We thank you for this commission. We thank you for our citizens. And we pray that you bless us to serve them in the best way that we can, always giving them everything that we have. We thank you. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mayor Babb,
Present.
Vice Mayor Mervin,
Present.
Commissioner Bowden,
Present.
Commissioner Calvin Williams,
Here.
Commissioner McPherson,
Present.
City Manager,
Present.
City Attorney,
Here.
City Clerk is present.
Thank you, City Clerk. Thank you, Commissioners. Thank you, staff. And most importantly, thank our listening audience for being here today to participate in our regular scheduled commission meeting. We'll move through our agenda as presented. City Manager, at this time, do we have any additions on an emergency basis?
Yes, sir. Mayor Commission, we requested we add Resolution 2024-44 as an add-on. It's approving the acceptance of general liability, property coverage, automobile liability, and employee workers' compensation insurance package. It comes in the form of a renewal. The reason why it is being added tonight is that we had some last-minute amendments and changes to the policy that will be presented under the presentation tab by Representative Brown and Brown, but we request that this is added as Resolution 2024-44.
Are there any deletions?
No, sir.
Thank you, sir. City Commission, having heard the City Manager indicate, we do have one add-on an emergency basis, the insurance package, Resolution 2024-44. There are no additions. Other than that, there are no deletions. What is your pleasure?
Mayor Babb, I move to accept the agenda with the add-on Resolution 2024-44.
Second.
It has been moved by Commissioner Bowden and properly second by Vice Mayor Mervin for the adoption of the agenda with the one add-on, which is the insurance package, Resolution 2024-44, with no additional deletions. Call for questions. Hearing none, are you ready for a vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Bowden,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Mervin,
Yes.
Commissioner Calvin Williams,
Yes.
Commissioner McPherson,
Yes.
Mayor Babb.
Yes, thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioners. Motion passed by unanimous vote.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I just want to put on the record if you all can take a vote on Section 2.28 to allow attendance at this meeting by Commissioner Calvin Williams.
Can I get a motion to that effect if it's the desire of the commission?
A motion that we allow Commissioner Cowles to participate by phone.
Second.
It has been moved by Commissioner Mike Fisson Sr. and properly second by Commissioner Bowden to allow Commissioner Calvin Williams to participate with this commission meeting by phone. Call for questions. Hearing none, you ready for a vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McPherson,
Yes.
Commissioner Bowden,
Yes.
Commissioner Calvin Williams,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Mervin,
Yes.
Mayor Babb.
Yes, thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioners. Motion passed by unanimous vote. Next, we'll move to presentation, proclamation, public service announcement, public comments, agenda items only on this section here. City Clerk, do we have any public comments?
No, sir.
On agenda items?
No, sir.
And we move to presentations, and I'll allow the city manager to introduce those who are doing presentation at this time.
Yes, sir. Mayor and Commission, we have two presentations this afternoon. First, we would have a presentation by Chief Jaramillo from Palm Beach County Fire Rescue, and she may have others to present with her tonight regarding the Cadet West initiative that we've talked about a couple of times in previous commission meetings. She's going to introduce the launch of that. And we will have a presentation by Mr. Kyle Stokel of Brown & Brown regarding the agenda item that was just added. And he will present regarding the liability and insurance renewal. And those would be the two presentations, and the third would be a proclamation that will come in the form regarding Florida Climate Week.
I'm sorry, excuse me, my firefighters, believe it or not, they got stuck in a call, so there should be
Okay.
any minute. Would that be possible to?
It'll be possible if the commission will allow a change in the presentation order. Mr. Stokel, are you prepared? Yes, sir. Please.
I have some handouts.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I will take the other commission.
Thank you.
All right. Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners.
Good
Appreciate the time tonight allowing me to present our insurance renewal. My name is Kyle Stoke with Brown & Brown Insurance, and I put this presentation together just to kind of give a quick overview of Brown & Brown, our renewal this year, and then some additional services that are included within that insurance package. So real quick on the first page here, Brown & Brown, we are an international insurance brokerage firm that was founded back in 1939 in Daytona Beach, Florida. We're Florida domiciled, and we have over 50 offices throughout the state, 3,500 teammates, so we are Florida focused, and my division specifically focuses on Florida public sector clients. So we've got about 200 public entities that we insure, and again, our only focus is Florida governments. So flipping to the next page, the reason that we're here, this is our renewal premium. So all in, all coverage is $404,190 this year. That is a 13% decrease over last year. So kind of want to touch on that. I've got some historical premiums here. So last year we became the agent of record through the competitive process, and your renewal initially was $560,000 through FMIT. Carlos had reached out, and we provided a competitive quote last year from the Preferred Governmental Insurance Trust. It came in at $465,455. So this year, we implemented a third-party appraisal. So we had CentuRisk come through and do an appraisal on all of the city-owned structures and properties. And what happened was that appraisal, basically, we discovered that some of your values were significantly overpriced. They were overvalued. So a third party came through. We looked at current trends. They assessed the values of them. And we were able to amend the insurance to update the replacement costs and kind of pull some of it out. That basically gave us a decrease on the renewal. So the rates are flat. There's no rate increases or rate changes. It's just a change in the exposures. So that's causing a $61,000 savings this year, which I think is a kind of a win for the city. We still have blanket coverage, so we've got, it's not a dedicated limit per line item on the schedule. We still have that full blanket available in the event of an occurrence. So really no changes in the coverage, just updates to our values and our exposures, and it kind of fell into a nice decrease for the city. On the next page, I just want to go over some of the additional services that are added. This is no additional cost to the city. This is all included with our insurance package through the Preferred Governmental Insurance Trust. Just kind of hitting on some of the high ones here. Again, that third-party appraisal service, that was free to the city, and it just gave us a more accurate replacement cost value. You have access to a dedicated loss control representative. His name is Chris Kittleson. He has met with Carlos a handful of times over the last year, And he actually reached out today to start engaging for the 24-25 period and, you know, promote the additional services that we have in terms of loss control. We also have this year, they've released the Preferred Priority, which is our turnkey disaster recovery program. And going to the next page here, there's some more information on that. So it's kind of a three-phase approach to basically a disaster response. So we have pre-storm resources, which is meeting with the loss control reps, making sure that the city is kind of in line and ready for a disaster to strike if it were. What are we doing in terms of, you know, getting resources ready and available and securing locations? The next phase of that is obviously if a named storm hits, how do we respond? So we've got some resources available and ready. They can be on site, ready to go as soon as the wind stops blowing. We have disaster remediation companies that are pre-vetted by the insurance, and they can provide resources to the city. And the third part is the claim closeout. So everything that we do is making sure that we're in line with FEMA obligations, and just to help you transition that process to get your money back and make the city whole as quickly as possible. This next page is the three companies involved with Preferred Priority. So it's PGCS, which is the claim service, Engel Martin, who is the boots on the ground adjuster, and Blue Sky, who's that remediation company. And again, this is all kind of prepackaged by the insurance carrier. It's no additional cost to the city. This is just how they respond to a natural disaster. Some additional loss control resources. There's a Preferred Risk Management Resource Center. There's all kinds of valuable resources for cybersecurity, ADA compliance. We've got an HR helpline which staff can use to get free legal advice if they have to you know, have a serious talk with an employee, that sort of thing. There is Vector Solutions, which is our training platform. That's videos that are directed towards certain employment groups and can help to basically train employees when losses are happening and kind of help them to get up to speed with working in a more safer environment. And then the last page here, this is our TIPS program. So Preferred offers a $5,000 matching grant each year. So if the city spends $10,000 on anything loss control related, so it could be, you know, cameras at City Hall, it could be ADA compliance, putting in new handrails, anything that could really reduce a loss for the city, they will match 50% of that. So if something that you purchase within the next policy period, send us receipts, they'll match that up to $5,000. So really it's kind of a holistic risk management approach. We want to take care of, you know, claims up front and hopefully not have any severe ones. So, that's kind of all I have for this. All in all, I think it's a pretty good renewal for this city. I won't put any questions if there's any concerns you have about this. If not, I look forward to another year working with the city.
Are there any questions from the commission? Thank you for the presentation.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Mr. Mayor, I do have one question. I'm wondering, sir, with respect, you mentioned that there would be a service that would go around, is it around the city to, after a disaster, to help with disaster recovery cleanup? Is that what you're referring to?
So yeah, there's a resource called Blue Sky. So they're a disaster remediation company, and they're basically pre-vetted by the insurance. You can use them if you want, you don't have to. If you have local vendors that can come in and provide
Is there a cost for it? That's what I was trying to figure out.
No.
There's no cost for it.
So the only cost would be the cost of the claim. So they would come in and, you know, if they're gonna put dehumidifiers into a building to dry it out, there would be a cost associated with that, but that's part of your insurance claim.
These are city properties only, I'm assuming?
Yes,
Okay,
city
so
properties
just
only.
not around the city in general?
No,
Got
this
it.
is just
Okay.
for the city's
Thank you.
exposure, yeah. Good. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Stokel.
Thank you. I'm just gonna pass this out real quick, may I?
Yes,
So, everybody sees what we're talking about.
Thank you.
I can
Apologize
actually do that for you.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, commissioners and community leaders. I'd like to briefly introduce Palm Beach County Fire Rescue's Cadet Initiative, which is helping to prepare the next generation of first responders to our community. First, I would like to thank Dr. Ford. Dr. Ford and West Tech, they were very kind enough to allow us and give us the space to facilitate, to make this initiative possible. Without this establishment, we would not be able to train the cadets and start the initiative. So I just wanted to say a thank you to them and Dr. Ford and West Tech. Another thing that I wanted to say is this cadet program is for the Glades region. Thank you, City Manager, for making sure that I said that. So the cadet initiative, we call it West Cadets, but the cadets we are one. We're not gonna be separate from the City of the Glades and the City of the East Coast. We just have this training facility to facilitate the community to be able to have the kids that don't have vehicles, have the people that have to work later and everything, so they are able to make it and come to train with us. So with me, right now, they were a little late because they were on a call. With me are two dedicated leaders to this effort, and I would like to introduce them. Lieutenant Cho and Firefighter Joseph, they have been instrumental in training, mentoring, and our current cadets and our future cadets. They are actually a product of the cadet program. So I know they look very young, but they're actually professional firefighters. They are sworn in, they have a badge, and they look very young, but they pack a lot of knowledge with them. So that, to me, just what it represents, you know, they have a future because of the cadet program, and they're here to represent that. Together, they represent strength and commitment of our fire rescue team, and I'm very, very honored to introduce you guys. So come up here, please. Thank you.
Good evening, Council and Mayor.
evening.
So thank you for having us. As Chief said, I'm Lieutenant Chow with Palm Beach County Fire Rescue, and this is firefighter paramedic Joseph Vanacek with us. And like she said, we've grown up in the program, so we were about 6 years in the program in total before we got hired with the Palm Beach County Fire Rescue, and now we're one of the executive advisors for the program. So we've been involved with the program for about 10 years total so far. What this program is, it's pretty much a youth enrichment program for youth, high school aged youths for the communities, and we try to get them enriched through the eyes of fire rescue and fire services. So public service, community service, all that kind of stuff. And obviously our goal is to push them towards the firefighting route, which is obviously would be very happy for us. We'd love to see that, but that's not our end goal. Our end goal is to push out good young adult citizens that are capable and can give back to their community so that they can enrich the community that they've grown up in and are around them. So we do that by doing a lot of community service, a lot of events around the state with other cadet programs from around the state as well, a lot of trainings on the facilities, whether it's on accountability, responsibility, just general like firefighting tactics and skills that they can learn on that side as well, EMS skills, first aid and first responder skills. So that's a lot of skills and leadership skills that we teach them that's beyond just firefighting. So it's not a firefighting youth program, it's a youth enrichment program that we like to say is through the eyes of the fire rescue program. So I'll let firefighter Joseph Vanacek talk a little bit about some of the experiences we've had in the program as well as some of our success stories.
Thank you, commissioners, again for having us. Some of you may be familiar with our program. We did have a post briefly out of West Tech about 4 years ago. It was very successful in the time that we had it, but due to COVID and other unforeseen situations, it wasn't sustainable at the time. For a while we had a van and we were busing the kids back and forth to our main post out in West Palm, and it just wasn't sustainable, and we realized that we need to have something local for this community because we just weren't getting the return from the kids. It was like every week we'd have one less kid until we were down to one. But that doesn't mean we didn't have our successes in the short time that we were able to be out here, and we'd like to continue those. So there's 3 main kids that we saw really have a very positive impact from this program. The first of which is AJ Longoria. He was a cadet with us for about 3 years. Actually, today I just got notice that he received, he applied with our department, and he's currently on the wait list to be placed in a recruit class for a job with Palm Beach County Fire Rescue. So that's something we're very proud of. Another one is Giovanni Santiago, who I haven't gotten to talk to him yet, but I believe he may be in the same boat. And then the last of which is one of our biggest success stories overall. Her name is Amy Martinez. Amy Martinez is a little girl. She's maybe 5'2" at the very most, but she definitely packs a punch. She actually lied to us about her age. We start our cadets in 8th grade, and they can go through 12th grade in their graduation of high school. She joined in 7th grade. Didn't care to tell us that part, but we excuse her for that. So she was one of without a doubt, our most dedicated. Even though she was the smallest one around, she grew up and became the chief of our entire program, overseeing about 100 other kids. So that was a big role for her. And last year, she received Cadet of the Year for the entire state of Florida.
Wow.
So she's currently going to school to be a fire inspector. So those are just a few of the cadets that from the Glades region that we've seen big success in, and we want to bring more of that in the near future.
So, yeah, we're very excited to bring this program back out here, and would love to see some of the involvement from the different, Glades regions areas, Pahokee, South Bay, Belle Glade. We'd love to see kids from all the regions coming together, learning, growing up, and getting this community, enriched with these young youth and seeing what they are capable of out here, because we already know how much they're capable of. If you guys have any questions, we'd be happy to answer them.
Are those 3 cadets from this area, or they're just from this area?
They are from here.
Oh, wow.
Amy is South Bay resident.
Okay.
I believe the other 2 are both from Belle Glade.
Belle Glade. Yeah. And the cost of the program, if they enroll in the program, how do they enroll in the program?
So currently so they have flyers up here which are being passed around or are on some of the websites, and you can go to you can follow that QR code, and pretty much they scan it and they put in an interest form as of right now, which is pretty much just, hey, their name and their email address. And then once we have a finished or an established start date, that's when we would email them and say, hey, if you would like to join the program, come to this orientation, and from there we'll kind of see how much interest we get. We don't really have an idea yet. We've been getting a lot of interest forms submitted to us, but how many of them actually show up to those orientation days and the actual events and the meetings is unknown to us. But it could be anywhere between 10 to 50, because our program out in West Palm right now is 120 cadets large. So I would like to see a large involvement from the kids out here. So we just have to wait and see until then. But as of right now, it's just interest forms. If they're interested in it, they sign up, and pretty much you show up and you'll be in the program, as long as you are within the parameters of the age and some of the other requirements that we have.
And what is the age?
Right now it's 13 to 18, 8th grade to 12th grade.
If this can make it a lot easier too, when you take a picture of the QR code, it'll tell you all of the steps that they have to do. We try to make it easier for the kids. Our main concern is Captain Escobar is also leading this initiative. He actually made an email for the kids of just this area. So when we do have a kid that enlists from this area, we know we're getting them from here instead of mixing them together. That way we're trying to figure out the start date that we can do. We're shooting for mid-October, depending on what we can work out with Dr. Ford and Westec too, and getting the equipment out here, which I'm gonna be involved with that too. So when they do the QR code, the kids will know they can apply through there. And I don't even know how to use a QR code. I gotta pay cash. But these kids now with the QR code, they do everything. So we try to make it for the generation, right? Our main we like to do is help us put it out there. You know, I know our community leaders like you guys, you can help us put it. Hey, we know the school, we know Bridges, put it on Facebook. So advertising is one of the things that we like to ask you guys for help, because we want to reach as much as kids as possible. And they're not the only ones who are going to be doing the training. They're the ones who are pushing the initiative, and they're coming from far, and they're willing to keep doing it. So I know they're dedicated, and like them, there are more kids. Sorry, I keep thinking you guys. More firefighters, and they are willing to come, and they want to come, and we want to do it. It's so I want to make more. Like I said, I'm old school, but I know you guys have PIOs and Facebook and all of that good stuff, and you've been helping me with that. So it's to reach out to the communities, to the schools, the kids of that age. Yes, ma'am.
Are there fees associated with the program?
As
No.
of right now, for the cadet, for the West Initiative, no.
Are there, when they go through the program and they want to come on board, I know Academy has a fee with, are there scholarships and stuff available for that, or sponsorships?
So that's a good question. How much do you want to give? I can start one right now. No. So we do have different ways that we can help the children, and I'm just gonna answer this for you if you don't mind, because if I get in trouble, it's me, not you. So the cadet program right now is, like I said, it's an initiative. It's to get the kids, to show them that there's other opportunities. You know, like you can be a police officer, you can be an attorney. I know we have kids in here trying to learn different. Just give them options and give them ideas and give them structure too. So the cadet it doesn't going to cost them. Now, academy is a different story. Once they graduate, it's just like us. You still have to go through a process. There are going to be fees. You got to pay for the academy. You got to pay for your gear. But we have sponsored kids, and I know for a fact I sponsor one. There's actually called me today too. So I guess today is the day that we should have a party, but nobody's going for a party. So and this person, we actually took him from the cadet to the reserves, because after the cadet, you start the reserves. You're already past high school. You're already moving to a different level of responsibilities and stuff. And you can start doing some writing. You can do some firefighting without going inside, without, right, all the stuff, without the mask, without the danger that you're not getting paid yet. Then you go to fire academy. So some of the things we do is I can sponsor some of the kids, you know, but you got to see the track record. Have they attended? Are they making the meetings? Are they doing that? Because the gear is very expensive too. So we cannot just give it to 100 children. But sponsor them, yes, we have. And yes, we will help them. And some of our firefighters on one of my stations, you know, they collect the money and they pay for the tuition. You know, so we can't do everything for everybody, but one is a start. You know, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're reaching out as many as we can. And we're asking for your help, you know, getting the kids involved with your knowledge of people, passing it on. So, and I know I'm talking too much, sorry.
And Mayor, if I may, we have another attempt to bring this to the public. This week's meeting with OCR, it will be here in Pahokee on Thursday, and Captain Escobar will be presenting this cadet program to the community, where we're averaging about 60 participants doing those meetings. We have another attempt to bring this to the public this week. That's kind of scary, but as you mentioned, it's very vital that we get this out to the community, and I'd be remiss if I didn't thank you for hitting the ground running. I remember a couple of commission meetings ago when I introduced you to Dr. Ford, and I think it was the next day you texted me and said, it's a go. So we really encourage about your commitment to the community in this project.
Thank you so much, but I do have to thank you. I do have to pass it to them, and I do appreciate it. Sorry, thank you. He just reminded me, Captain Escobar is going to be deployed.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I know someone will be there in his place, because
Okay.
we're not letting this opportunity go. But Lieutenant Chow just let me know he's being deployed, so.
Okay.
But I'll be there.
Just,
Okay.
thank you.
Anything else? Any questions?
And you are a lieutenant.
I'm a lieutenant.
Wow, very good.
And it's for real, look.
Yeah, I see that.
And
The white shirt.
And this one too, I can't believe it.
Yeah, very good.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Any more questions?
Any further questions? Well, thank you very much for your time, and we're very excited to come out here and see what we can get going. So, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, Commissioner Cowan has a question. Commissioner Cowan?
Oh, sorry, Commissioner.
I have one question. Let me put my.
Very excited to come out here and see what we can get going. So, thank you very much.
We're hearing the feedback in the background.
I have one question. Can you ask them what time will they meet with Beyond Youth?
What time?
So currently we're planning for Mondays, and it would probably be from around 6 to 8:30 is our normal timing. So after school hours, Mondays hopefully aren't too busy for most kids and out of the way of most of the sports and whatnot. So it was dependent on the availability of West Tech and what they were what we were able to work with the facility at the time. But as of right now, our goal is Mondays, every Monday for 6 to 8:30 p.m.
And that would be at West Tech?
That would be at West Tech in one of the classrooms in the facility there.
Okay.
All right.
That's it.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you. Next, we have a proclamation, October 7th through the 13th, 2024, as Florida Climate Week. City Attorney.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, this is a proclamation, and it reads, whereas the Climate Change 2023 Synthesis Report listed a current temperature rise of 1.1 Celsius, leading to constant unnatural weather events, bringing disarray to the planet and its inhabitants, and reports an increase in weather-related disasters with every rise in temperature level. And whereas Florida and its 825 square miles of shoreline and low elevation points of 100 feet above sea level make the state highly susceptible to sea level rise and other natural disasters related to climate change, and the high level of CO2 pollution also threatens to harm Florida's coral reefs and a variety of sea organisms. And whereas Volo Foundation, along with other nonprofit organizations, local, state, and federal partners, elected leaders, news media volunteers, and professional associations are committed to educating Florida citizens and visitors around the climate crisis so that they may take action to bring about positive, influential change to protect their families, businesses, and themselves. Now, therefore, I, Keith W. Babb, Jr., Mayor of the City of Pahokee, and on behalf of the City Commission, do hereby proclaim October 7th through 13th, 2024, as Florida Climate Week in Pahokee, Florida, and encourage residents to become more aware of our changing climate and participate in the various programs during the Florida Climate Week that will present and discuss solutions by visiting the Florida Climate Week website at https://floridaclimateweek.org. Now proclaimed this 24th day of September 2024, Keith W. Babb, Jr., Mayor Claire Mervin, Vice Mayor Derek Bolden, Commissioner Sanquetta Cowan Williams, Commissioner, and Everett D. McPherson, Senior Commissioner. Thank you.
We don't have any consent agenda items. Next on our agenda is old business, discussion of existing activities or previously held events, if any. Update from the city.
Yes, sir. Ms. Adams will come and present the activities.
Good evening, Mayor, Commission, residents. This Thursday, our city events. This Thursday, GTEC meeting, as our city manager stated, will be held here at our commission chambers. There was a conflict with the area, so we're hosting it here at our commission chambers at 360 East Main Street at 10 a.m., and that will be for GTEC meeting. Friday, October the 4th, is OCR's food drive, and that will be held at United Missionary Baptist Church, 225 Bacon Point Road, and it will begin at 10 a.m. October the 12th, we're doing a community cleanup, and the community cleanup will be throughout the area, throughout the city. So if you are interested, please reach out to us at City Hall, 561-924-5534. Also, October 31st is our Fall Festival, and Fall Festival will be here at our Parks and Rec Sports Complex, and it will begin from 6 to 8 p.m. And Veterans Day. So Veterans Day is coming up November, and November the 8th, we will celebrate our veterans. If you have any veterans that you are interested in having us to honor, please email me so that we can reach out, or if there is anyone that you notice is not on the list, I will send out an updated list to you all so you can be able to add any of those individuals. The 21st of November will be our turkey giveaway. December the 2nd is our tree lighting and our Christmas parade. And December the 19th is our Christmas toy giveaway. We also have on the Friday, October the 18th, we will, Empowerment Health will be holding tea and conversations about women's health, and that will be held at the Pahokee Marina from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. There are flyers out on the back table, as well as we have posted this information on the city's website. Breast Cancer Awareness Walk will be October the 19th. If you are interested in participating in the Breast Cancer Awareness Pink Walk, MUC, Sweat and Tears, the walk will begin at 8 a.m., correct, for registration? Registration will begin at 8 a.m., and then the walk will follow thereafter. The registration fee is $10. The flyer is also posted on our Facebook page as well as the city's website. The QR code is there, so if you scan the QR code, you will be directed to the link to register. And for more information on that, you can contact Annie Eiffel at Healthier Glades. And also October 24th, we are hosting here in the city of Pahokee, along with PBSO, Fire Rescue, our National Night Out. And that will start at 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Marina, 190 North Lake Avenue. And that is all that we have for updates tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Adams.
Next on the agenda is public hearings and or ordinances. We have, I believe, approximately 3 ordinances. The first ordinance is ordinance 2024-08. City Attorney.
An ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Pahokee amending the City of Pahokee's Code of Ordinances to update the date of the flood insurance study and flood insurance rate maps to reformat local amendments to the Florida Building Code, providing for applicability, repeal or severability, and an effective date.
Thank you, City Attorney. City Manager, could you give us a brief explanation?
Yes, sir. Ordinance 2024-08 allows the amending of the City of Pahokee's Code of Ordinance, Chapter 6 and 10, respectively, which became necessary after the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, revised and reissued their flood insurance study for Palm Beach County. These amendments are vital in helping the public to better understand the building regulations and the revised flood insurance study and rate maps. These amendments further strengthens the City of Pahokee's administrative and technical amendments to the Florida Building Code and provide for more stringent requirements. The recommended changes are highlighted in your backup within Section 1 and Section 10. Staff recommends commission approval of ordinance 2024-08 on this first reading.
At this time, I will open a public hearing for the public can have an opportunity to speak on this ordinance if they so desire. Are there anyone from the public who wish to speak on this ordinance? Hearing none, I'll close the public hearing. This is a first reading. City Commission, having had this ordinance properly read into the minutes by our city attorney, properly explained by our city manager. What is your preference?
Mayor Bear, I move that we would accept ordinance number 2024-08, first reading.
Second.
It has been moved by Vice Mayor Mervin and properly second by Commissioner Bowden for the movement of ordinance 2024-08 on the first reading. Call for questions. Hearing none, are you ready for a vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Vice Mayor Mervin?
Yes.
Commissioner Bowden?
Yes.
Commissioner Cowan Williams? Commissioner Cowan Williams?
Yes.
Commissioner McPherson?
Yes.
Mayor Bab?
Yes. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioners. The ordinance passed on first reading by unanimous vote. Next, we have Resolution 2024-38. City Attorney.
A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Pahokee, Florida, adopting a final millage for the fiscal year commencing October 1, 2024 through September 30th, 2025 pursuant to Section 200.065 Florida statutes, computing the rollback rate, providing for adoption of representation, providing for instructions to the city manager, providing for an effective date.
Thank you, City Attorney. City Manager, could you give us a brief explanation?
Yes, sir. As required by state statute, the City of Pahokee must approve a resolution adopting a final millage for future fiscal years. Resolution 2024-38 represents the final millage of 6.5419, together with the established rollback rate of 6.027. There is no proposed change in the city's millage from last year, but when calculated with the rollback, there is a percentage change of 8.54% in the millage overall back rate, which produces a tax increase of $60,886. This amount represents the dollar amount that it would take to generate the same amount of taxes from last year. Staff recommends approval of Resolution 2024-38.
Thank you, City Manager. City Attorney, at this time, do we need a public hearing on this resolution?
I would have a public hearing, Mayor.
At this time, I will open the floor for a public hearing on Resolution 2024-38. Are there anyone from the audience that wish to address this resolution? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. City Commission, having heard Resolution 2024-38 properly read into the minutes by our City Attorney, properly explained by our City Manager, what is your preference?
Mayor Bear, I move that we would accept resolution
2024-38.
Second.
It has been moved by Commissioner Cowers Williams and properly second by Commissioner Bowden for the movement of Resolution 2024-38. Call for questions. Hearing none. Are you ready for a vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Cowan Williams?
Yes.
Commissioner Bowden?
Yes.
Commissioner McPherson?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Mervin?
yes.
Mayor Bab?
Yes. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioners. Resolution 2024-38 passes by a unanimous vote. Next, we'll move to Resolution 2024-39. City Attorney.
A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Pahokee, Florida, relating to finances, providing for the adoption of funding of the final municipal budget of the City of Pahokee, Florida, in the amount of $8,939,702 for the fiscal year beginning October 1, 2024, and ending September 30th, 2025, providing for adoption of representations, providing for an effective date.
Thank you, City Attorney. City Manager, could you give us a brief explanation of Resolution 2024-39?
Yes, sir. State statute also requires the City of Pahokee to approve a resolution adopting a final budget for future fiscal years, beginning October 1 and ending September 30th annually. Resolution 2024-39 fulfills this responsibility by the adoption and funding of the final municipal budget in the amount of $8,939,702. Again, that's $8,939,702 for the fiscal year beginning October 1, 2024 and ending September 30th, 2025. This final budget reflects the exact totals across budgeting categories that the Commission reviewed through budget workshops and subsequently approved on first reading during this regular Commission meeting on September 11th, 2024. Staff recommends approval of Resolution 2024-39.
Thank you, City Manager. At this time, I'll open this for a public hearing on Resolution 2024-39. Are there anyone from the audience that wish to address this resolution? Hearing none, I'll close the resolution and the public hearing. City Commissioner, having heard Resolution 2024-39, properly read into our minutes by our City Attorney, properly explained by our City Manager, what is your preference?
Mayor Bab, I move to accept Resolution 2024-39.
Second.
It is moved by Commissioner Bolden and properly second by Vice Mayor Mervin for the adoption of Resolution 2024-39. Call for questions. Hearing none, are you ready for a vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Bolden?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Mervin?
Yes.
Commissioner Calvin Williams?
Yeah.
Commissioner McPherson?
Yes.
Mayor Bab?
Yes. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioners. Resolution 2024-39 passed by unanimous vote. Next, we'll move to some additional resolution that we have. The first resolution is Resolution 2024-40. City Attorney.
A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Pahokee, Florida, approving the observed holidays for fiscal year 2024-2025 as set forth in Exhibit A, providing for adoption of representations, providing for an effective date.
Thank you, City Clerk. City Manager, could you give us a brief explanation?
Yes, sir. The City of Pahokee's adopted employee handbook outlines that the number of paid holidays is subject to change each year based on the calendar and shall be determined during the budget process by resolution. Resolution 2024-40 provides for the adoption of a holiday schedule for the upcoming fiscal year. As seen in Exhibit A, Exhibit A is what is being proposed for your consideration and approval. I would note Christmas and New Year falls on a Wednesday this year. So in your backup, you were provided with a list of holidays as approved in previous years, and it could serve as a starting point for the conversations.
Thank you, City Manager. City Commission, for we can get a discussion going if we have need for one. I would like to entertain a motion for the adoption of this holiday schedule.
Mayor, I move that we would accept Resolution 2024-40.
Second.
It has been moved by Vice Mayor Mervin and properly seconded by Commissioner Bolden that we accept this resolution for our holiday schedule. Call for questions.
Mayor, I thought Columbus Day, did we add that back on? I thought we took Columbus Day off.
We took it off. That's an old holiday schedule with Columbus Day. I think we substituted that for Juneteenth.
So we're gonna omit Columbus Day off this schedule?
Okay, thank you. Yes, if that would be a recommendation of the commission, I would, think that would be appropriate if we removed it and, let's look at
I would note that Columbus Day is still considered a federal holiday. So I'm not, you can obviously decide what you want to, but it's still being recognized as a federal holiday.
Would that be the preference of the commission, or we want to have that remain on there? I think what we tried to do in the
I
past.
couldn't hear the date. What day was that, Ms. Bear?
Columbus Day.
October the 14th, Columbus Day as a floating holiday.
Would that be the preference of the commission, or? I think what we tried to do. I couldn't hear the date. What day was that, Ms. Bear?
We're hearing the
It's
feedback.
October the 14th.
No, is that the feedback?
That's what
Oh,
You
okay.
need to mute that
TV
part.
is on.
Okay.
It's a delay.
Are there any discussions on this? Is this the preference? If so, someone can make a motion in a second. It's up to the commission whether they want to continue with Columbus Day being added or remove it. We tried to get, I believe, in the past, a certain amount of holidays, although the federal holiday, a lot of places are really not observing Columbus Day because of
The list that you have is a total of 11 holidays, but it encompasses 15 total days when you consider the 2 days for Thanksgiving and New Year's and Christmas.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always mention even with Palm Beach County, even with what their schedule is, like 13 paid holidays we have currently here, if we're including Columbus Day, 15. Nothing wrong with that if that's the desire of the commission. I just know previously we removed that to make room for a holiday we thought was a little more appropriate for the times. I would say some folks are still feel Columbus Day is somewhat controversial because they say he discovered America and America was already here when he came upon this land. So it's just a matter of thought. I don't have any problem either way. It's just a desire of what the commission want to do with it.
So with that day, that means that will be the city hall will be closed on Columbus Day?
Yes, if it's observed as a holiday.
It would also mean still in now 14 will have 15 official holidays, days off that the city would be paying for.
I don't have a problem with it. Give it to them.
Okay, so there's no motion or second. We'll
I motion that we move that to June 2.
we
Juneteenth is
have
already on
Juneteenth
there.
on
Okay.
here.
It's
so
included.
It's already there.
Yeah, it's on there already.
So if no one have any objection for the days that's listed on here currently, I'll entertain a motion for the adoption of this holiday schedule.
We have one.
We have one already.
Okay.
Motion by Vice Mayor Mervin and seconded by Commissioner Bowden.
Okay. Have a motion and a second. Call for questions. Hearing none. Are you ready for a vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Vice Mayor Mervin,
Yes.
Commissioner Bowden,
Yes.
Commissioner Cowan-Williams,
I couldn't hear. Are we voting to keep it or to remove it? Because I couldn't hear. You were speaking kind of low.
To keep it, we're voting on the total package that was submitted, and that would include
Okay, yes.
Columbus Day.
Okay, yes.
Commissioner McPherson,
Yes.
Mayor Bab.
Yes. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioners. Motion passed by unanimous vote. Next, we have Resolution 2024-41, City Attorney.
A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Pahokee, Florida, approving the acceptance of the employee benefits package with an 8.6% increase in medical coverage and 6.3% increase in life insurance coverage as set forth in Exhibit A hereto, authorizing the city manager to take necessary action, providing for adoption of representations, providing for an effective date.
Thank you, City Attorney. City Manager, could you give us a brief explanation of Resolution 2024-41?
Yes, sir. Resolution 2024-41 considers the renewal of the City of Pahokee's medical, dental, and basic life insurance coverages with Garrick Group as presented during the September 11th Commission meeting. The Garrick Group is the city's existing carrier and has quoted small increases to medical coverage of 8.4% and a 6.3% increase in basic life coverages. The dental PPO coverage actually has a decrease of 4.6%, with the dental HMO plan remaining the same. The vision rates were quoted to remain the same over the next 2 years. Staff recommends approval of Resolution 2024-41.
Thank you, City Manager. City Commission, having heard Resolution 2024-41 properly read into the minutes by our City Attorney, properly explained by our City Manager, what is your preference?
Mayor, I move that we will accept resolution 2024-41.
A second.
It has been moved by Vice Mayor Mervin and properly second by Commissioner Bowden for the adoption of Resolution 2024-41. Call for questions. Hearing none, are you ready for a vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Vice Mayor Mervin,
Yes.
Commissioner Bowden,
Yes.
Commissioner Calvin Williams,
Yes.
Commissioner McPherson,
Yes.
Mayor Bab.
Yes. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioners. Resolution 2024-41 passed by unanimous vote. Next, we'll move to Resolution 2024-42, City Attorney.
A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Pahokee, Florida, authorizing the city manager to enter into and execute an agreement between the City of Pahokee and HCT Certified Public Accountants and Consultants, LLC, attached hereto as Exhibit A, providing for adoption of representations, providing for an effective date.
Thank you, City Attorney. City Manager, could you give us a brief explanation?
Yes, sir. Resolution 2024-42 authorizes the city manager to enter into agreement with the City of Pahokee's selected auditor, HCT, Certified Public Accountants and Consultants, LLC, after negotiating of pricing for the same. The City Commission approved the actual contract during its August 27 regular commission meeting based on the recommendations of the Audit Select Committee and city staff. The prices for the base 3 years of the contract are $32,940, $34,940 for year 2, and for base year 3, $36,000, with a cost of $9,500 for fee for uniform or single audit if required. The option 4 and 5 years pricings will refer back to the initial base year of $32,900 as defined in the RFP guidelines. Staff is already preparing and will await the auditor's engagement letter that's expected within the next week upon passage of this resolution. Staff recommends approval of Resolution 2024-42.
Thank you, City Manager. City Commission, having heard Resolution 2024-42, properly read into the minutes by our City Attorney, properly explained by our City Manager, what is your pleasure?
I move that we accept Resolution 2024-42.
Second.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
I just want to put on the record that the contract, he may give the engagement letter, but the engagement letter has to align with the contract because it was a part of the RFP document. And so I just want to make sure
Correct.
that the contract that we sent back that came from the RFP is actually what's signed by the auditor.
Yes.
Thank you.
City Commission, having heard Resolution 2024-42, properly read into the minutes by our city attorney, properly explained by our city manager, what is your preference?
You have a motion.
We have a
Second.
motion. Motion by Commissioner McPherson, seconded by Vice Mayor Mervin.
Call for questions. Hearing none, are you ready for a vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McPherson,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Mervin,
Yes.
Commissioner Bowden,
Yes.
Commissioner Cowan-Williams,
Yes.
Mayor Bab.
Yes, thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioners. Motion passed by unanimous vote. Next, we'll move to Resolution 2024-43. City Attorney.
A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Pahokee, Florida, authorizing the mayor to execute the 19th Amendment to the Law Enforcement Service Agreement between the City of Pahokee and Rick L. Bradshaw, Sheriff of Palm Beach County, Florida, attached hereto is Exhibit A, providing for adoption of representations, providing for an effective date.
Thank you, City Attorney. City Manager, could you give us a brief explanation?
Yes, sir. Resolution 2024-43 authorizes the mayor to execute the 19th addendum to the Law Enforcement Service Agreement with the City of Pahokee and between Sheriff of Palm Beach County, Rick Bradshaw. This 19th iteration of the agreement outlines a 2% increase over last year's agreement, totaling a $11,999 increase, bringing the total for fiscal year 2024-25 to $611,939. The original proposal requested a 4% increase, but staff successfully negotiated to a 2% increase. Staff recommends ongoing negotiations with the sheriff and approval of Resolution 2024-43.
Thank you, City Manager. City Commission, having heard Resolution 2022-24-43, properly read into the minutes by our city attorney, properly explained by our city manager, what is your preference?
Mayor Bab, I move to accept Resolution 2024-43.
Second.
It has been moved by Commissioner Bowden and properly seconded by Commissioner McPherson for the adoption of Resolution 2024-43. Call for questions.
I have one question, maybe just, with the ARPA funds, I remember we paid, was that for last year budget when they paid the, out of the sheriff office, out of the ARPA funds, was that the last year budget, or that will be, oh, sorry. Remember we paid them?
Yeah, it was for 2 years, so it would have been
last
last year and this year.
So this will be paid out of the ARPA fund, so that will free up that in our budget, if we pay that out of the ARPA fund?
No, from my understanding, this new agreement will not be inclusive of ARPA funding. That was the previous year.
So it wasn't 2 years, so it was just 1 year then?
Yes.
We prepaid
Okay,
for 1 year.
not 1 year, okay, that's all.
Any additional questions? Hearing none, are you ready for a vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Bowden,
Yes.
Commissioner McPherson,
Yes.
Commissioner Cowan-Williams,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Mervin,
Yes.
Mayor Bab.
Yes. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioners. Motion passed by unanimous vote. Now we'll move to new business presentation by the city.
We have one more.
The one that we
Add
added.
on.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry. Have one more resolution to add on that was presented earlier. Resolution 2024-44, City Attorney.
A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Pahokee, Florida, approving the acceptance of general liability, property coverage, automobile liability, and employee workers' compensation package set forth in Exhibit A, hereto, authorizing the city manager to take necessary action, providing for adoption of representations, providing for an effective date.
Thank you, City Attorney. City Manager, could you give us a brief explanation?
Yes, sir. Resolution 2024-44 considers the renewal of the City of Pahokee's general liability, property coverage, automobile liability, and employee workman compensation coverages as presented by Mr. Stokel earlier tonight. Brown & Brown is the city's existing insurance advisor and is quoted an overall decrease of 13.16%, primarily based on differences of 25.42% reduction in the property coverage line, where he referenced a up-to-date appraisal that outlined the reduction of value in city facilities, a 0.33% decrease in general liability, a 12.79% premium decrease in automobile liability, and that was based on a decrease of uninsurable vehicles from last year's fleet, an additional premium difference of 11.55% in the public officials' employment practice liability, and finally, a premium reduction of 0.85% in the workman compensations line of insurance. Staff recommends approval of Resolution 2024-44.
Thank you, City Manager. City Commission, having heard Resolution 2024-44, properly read into the minutes by our city attorney, properly explained by City Manager. What is your preference?
I move that we accept Resolution 2024-44.
Second.
It has been moved by Commissioner McPherson Sr. and properly seconded by Commissioner Bowden for the adoption of Resolution 2024-44. Call for questions. Hearing none, are you ready for a vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McPherson?
Yes.
Commissioner Bowden?
Yes.
Commissioner Calvin Williams?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Mervin?
Yes.
Mayor Bab?
Yes. Thank you, Madam
Mayor
Clerk.
Bab, just on this sheet, it has Commissioner Gonzalez, don't have Commissioner McPherson's name on here.
We'll make sure,
We'll update it.
we'll update it and make sure it reflects.
And Perez.
And Perez.
Well noted.
It's on the sheet.
Okay, next we'll move to the report of the mayor, which I will defer my report, no report this evening. I'll move now to the report of the city manager.
Yes, sir. I have a couple of things. Wanted to let the commission know, recently made an offer for the new human resource director for the city of Pahokee. She is scheduled to start on October 1. She comes highly experienced and has several HR certifications, so we're looking forward to her arrival October 1. I likewise have scheduled interviews for grant writing applicants for next week and administrative assistants within the next 3 weeks. Sent an interest letter to Palm Beach County and the Regional HUD office indicating the city of Pahokee's interest in rejoining the Urban County Grant Program beginning next fiscal year. This would allow the city to participate in the county's CDBG grant program, the Home Investment Program, and the Emergency Shelter Program. A proposed contract agreement outlining the relationship with the city of Pahokee and Palm Beach County will be forthcoming within the next few months. We've been in contact with local water districts in the South Florida Water Management District regarding the potential weather impact to our area as a result of what we're seeing in the Gulf, the threats to both the state and the region. We'll keep you updated on any changes to that process. Last and not least, I'll forward my proposed contract to the members of the commission as early as tomorrow morning and hope to schedule individual meetings, times with each of you to discuss that contract. And I'm hopeful to have that presented at next commission meeting. That's it for me.
Thank you. Just 2 quick questions for the city manager. Did we join a chamber of commerce, and if so, what is the status of that, or the meeting schedule that we'll be able to at least partake in those, or where we are on that?
Okay, we have, we will be members of both the city of Belgrade and also what's the chamber in, if you don't mind, Ms. Adams? The name escapes me. It's
We are in the process of putting in the check request for City of Belglade, Central Palm Beach County Chamber of Commerce, and the Black Chamber.
Right.
So we have check requests going in. So it's
City of Belgrade.
City of Belglade.
City of Belglade,
Central Chamber.
Central Palm Beach County, and the Black Chamber of Commerce.
So we hope to have membership as of October 1 in all three of those. And once a schedule is outlined for meetings and anything associated with those chambers, you'll be duly notified.
Okay. And the last question is a comment. When we do hire, especially key staff, would you please make arrangement that the staff be introduced here at the chamber as part of our personnel policy, but previously that haven't been done. Not on, no reflection on you because you are new as a city manager, but previously we hadn't gotten many introductions, so we just want to meet especially our key people that being hired.
Yes, sir. I'll make arrangements for you to meet the new HR director during the first commission meeting in October, which is October 8th.
Next, we'll move to the report of the city attorney, if there's any.
No report at this time, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. And we'll move to future agenda items of the commission, if any. Anyone have any future agenda items? Thank you. We'll now move to general public comments. This don't have to be an agenda item. Could be any general comments. City clerk, do we have any public comments cards completed by our audience?
No, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, we'll move to commissioner comments for the good of the order. We'll start with Commissioner Mike Pearson, Senior. Let's move to Commissioner Williams, Kyle Williams, so we don't forget her. We'll move this way to the right. Commissioner Williams, any comments?
Commissioner Cowan Williams?
Hello.
Do you have any comments?
No, I just want to say thank you to all the residents that are listening. Good night.
Just want to say thank you to all the residents and ask that that you continue to volunteer. We need all the help that we can get. We can't do any of this, and we can't move our city forward without the help of our citizens. And thank you for all you have done in the past.
And I defer Commissioner Bolden.
I'll echo their statements. Thank you, citizens, for all of your support. Thank you for your patience. I also want to thank the members of this commission. It's been a pleasure working with you guys. I know we don't always agree on things, and that's how it should be. Everyone has handled things extremely well and in a professional manner, and I know our citizens really like that. Some of them even woke up to me and tell me how happy they are to see how we're conducting business here at the City of Pahokee.
Vice Mayor Mervin.
I'll say the same thing as Commissioner McPherson and also Bolden. I thank you to the committee. Very pleasant meetings and very pleasant of even sitting here and with the colleagues. And I thank every one of you for, being professional. And thank you to our city manager, our city attorney, our city staff, and our citizens. Good night.
Thank you. City Commission having properly taken care of all of our city business that was brought forth, I'll entertain a motion for the adjournment of our meeting.
We let McPherson do it.
I'll motion that. I second or whatever.
I'll second.
It has been moved by Commissioner McPherson and properly seconded by Vice Mayor Mervin for the adjournment of our meeting. Call for question. Hearing none. Are you ready for a vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McPherson?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Mervin?
Yes.
Commissioner Bowden?
Yes.
Commissioner Cowan-Williams?
Yes.
Mayor Bab?
Yes. Meeting adjourned at 7:17 PM.